Hey guys, welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Let me say this, thanks to French Quarters Guest Apartments for being our New York City hotel. Let them be your headquarters in New York City. Go to FrenchQuartersNY.com to book your next stay. That's FrenchQuartersNY.com to book your next stay. And my next guest, old friend of the show, good friend of mine, great stand-up. I've worked with him on the road a bunch of times. He's out killing it himself now with his girlfriend Carly. They do a dual tour. Very, very unique. The great Chris Distefano's here.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it.
What's up, Chris?
Nothing much, man. How you doing?
Good. So you're a star of Guy Code, and you've turned that into a great career for yourself. I'm proud of you, man.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, getting to do all this comedy, across the country, and
right?
Getting my foot in the door there, and Carly's, doing it with Carly, which is great.
So you and Carly, you live together.
Yes.
And Carly's on Girl Code. You're on Guy Code.
Carly is, yes.
And you're both very popular characters on there, so you're touring together, doing stand-up together.
Touring together makes sense. And one other girl, her name is Jessie Mae Peluso. She's also...
Oh, I know.
We had her on. We had her on, yeah. So the three of us... And it's good, I mean, we, sold out the Wilbur Theater in Boston.
That's great.
Yeah.
We played there together.
Yeah, we played there together.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was great. And then then everything was going good until we got to Cleveland.
What happened? Well, Cleveland.
Well, that's just what it was. It's just we got to Cleveland, and then it just started to fall off.
What happened?
People were depressed, man. I got to be honest. I'm like, the last night, Sunday night, for the last 20 minutes of my act, I said, guys, everyone move close to the stage. Let's just talk about...
Where were you?
Hilarities.
Oh, Hilarities.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's a legendary place. Hilarities is right up there. Actually, Hilarities and the Improv are right next to each other.
Yeah.
And they sort of were at war for a while. But it's like, you're right, to compete with the people in a good mood in Cleveland, that's a small market.
This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. It's a Saturday afternoon. Me, Carly, and Jessie are walking to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We had to walk 8 blocks Saturday afternoon in a major United States city. We did not see one person walking. Not one person. It was like Walking Dead.
Cleveland is like, well, first of all, for a while they were all in Ariel Castro's basement. They couldn't get out. No, honestly, Cleveland is... I did a gig with Jimmy Florentine. If you want to make Jimmy Florentine laugh when you mention Cleveland, just bring up a place called Peabody's. We had graduated from past Hilarities in the Improv. We were doing some theaters. Right. We got booked in a rock club. This had to be like 12 years ago, called Peabody's. And it was 800 people. We sold it out. There was a guy, as I went on, I was closing, a guy was on stage drinking his beer with his foot laying on the stage. He was in my way. I couldn't walk around. And I said to the guy, I said, could you get off the stage? And he goes, make me. And the security wasn't doing anything, so I just let him stay there for the whole. It became Abbott and Costello. It became part of my act, and they're angry and depressed, and well, you got to just move on from that.
Yeah, I try to. I just, because I was like, I mean, really, everyone. It's like a city. Like even when it's open, it feels like it's closed. Yeah, that's what it was.
I'm playing Cleveland November 28th. Guys, come out.
Good.
Thanksgiving weekend. It's very happy there.
Yeah.
So,
I'm playing a theater there.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I've been there. The Cleveland and me, we're tight because I'm depressed though.
Yeah.
You guys used to tour together.
Yeah, we were on the
right?
road together quite a bit.
So now, Chris, you've kind of like moved on. It sounds like.
Well, that's what he should do. That's what happened.
How do you feel about that?
I feel great about it.
Oh, really?
Actually, I do. Yeah, I'm proud of him.
I mean, I don't know. Like
I feel betrayed a little bit for Artie.
I would open for Artie at any. I mean, I opened for Artie a couple of weeks ago. I don't care how big I ever got. I would always open for Artie.
Believe me, don't say that.
No, I
I mean, you're touring with your girlfriend instead of Artie.
That's true.
Well,
that is
selling
a
out.
little bit of a slight.
Right.
They pay better.
Right, but they're both, they're not as. She's not as annoying as Bob Levy.
Yeah.
So.
Listen, has he called you yet to get on that tour?
Bob Levy has called me calls me 8 times a week. And
listen, I'd be perfect on you and your girlfriend and me. I mean, picture.
Yeah, he pitched this show at me. He said, "Yeah,
we'll say I'm Jesse's boyfriend."
Yeah, he said
that'll be my part.
That's what he does. He goes, "Why don't you have a show where you get all the kids from MTV to sit around?"
All the kids.
That's what he said. This is a show idea. He goes, "Have all the kids sit around, and I'll tell them stories."
And you're one of the kids.
I'm one of the kids. And then at the end,
is Jessie the cute blonde that we had on at one time? Is she the hot blonde?
She's blonde, right?
Yeah, she's hot.
She Jessie.
She had a hot one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Levy going, listen, here's the story. You and Carly are together, and I'm with Jessie, and we're a couple. Listen, it'll work. Listen, it's believable. Listen. Wait, all the kids. Here's his pitches. All you guys from Girl and Guy Code who are all kids to him, because he's 68.
Right.
And he tells you stories?
That's what he said. He said, "Well, dude, it goes like, Christmas with Bob Levy. It's like a Christmas story, and I'll be like, the dirty uncle, and it'll be something fun, and I can write it." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
The MTV execs diving at that.
Well, I actually think, you know what I think happened is because I felt bad. I said, I'm not going to, stop Bob from living his dream. So I actually sent an email and I got Bob a meeting at MTV and he just didn't show up for the meeting.
You're kidding me. Are you kidding me?
Or he cancanceled an hour
first
before.
Of all, let me say this about Levy. We're busting chops. Levy is a great comic. He's a guy who's always been good to me. We've made money together. He's a technician on stage. He's wonderful. But that's the thing. You have to show up to the meeting. What was he doing? He doesn't show. He busts you to get him. You take a risk. And get him, and he doesn't show up.
I have no idea what.
Who is he? Sinatra?
Bob Levy. I love you, Bob. I hope you're listening.
Now, Bob's a great man, but you have to show up to that meeting. What did you say to the guy? Listen, I want you to take a meeting, and the guy was it a big time executive?
No, it wasn't anything big. It was like just
Were you lying to Bob? Was it even an executive?
Yeah, I know.
Was your Uncle Tony?
Yeah, it was Carly's dad.
I've met him. He could be a perfect executive.
He is great. He looks like Ray Romano on steroids. Carly's dad. That's the image of Carly's dad.
That is an excellent person to be.
Yeah, but who knows what Bob's doing?
That's funny. So now, where else did you go? You go to the West Coast? You getting LA vibes going on? Or?
We went there. I went to LA. I actually just got back. I went to the Oslo Comedy Festival in Oslo, Norway.
Now, that's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. I got my flight left Newark Friday night at 8 p.m. I got to Norway at 9 a.m. Saturday morning. Did shows at 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. in Norway. And then my flight left Norway to get back to Newark at 10 a.m. So I was back in New York yesterday, Sunday, at 2 p.m. I was in Norway for 15 hours eating reindeer meat.
See, that's funny. I said this to you, during the commercial. I did Edinburgh, Scotland once for a week, and I did something in London for a week. And the only time those are fun is if you could stick around and enjoy it. But I mean, look, it says a lot about your career. You're busy, but you had to get right back. So what did you do? You land 9 a.m. You show 7 p.m. What was your day like in Norway? Were you able to nap? Like, what did you see Norway?
Well, I was like, you know what? I'm only going to be here for a few hours. So I was like, let me walk around. But I was so delirious, I almost got hit by a car.
A Norwegian car?
Or a Norwegian freaking little Volkswagen, whatever.
Hinder, Distefano hit me in the hinder.
The very fitting you get. I truly did see a real live reindeer, which I didn't know that was a real animal. I thought that was like a mystical animal. No,
that's what I thought. It's a real animal. They just can't fly.
Yeah, I thought it was.
The mystical part is the flying.
Yeah, I thought they were in Narnia.
They exist. They just can't fly.
They can't fly.
And none of them have red noses.
Yeah, but it was a good experience, and everybody looks like Thor, men and women out there.
Of course, you're taken, but there's a lot of hot chicks.
There was a lot of hot chicks, so I had to relieve myself in the bathrooms, if you will.
Yeah, Norwegian. That's the Viking thing, like the hot blonde.
They're all hot. I'd go for a guy too. Hey,
listen, from the back, a lot of them look like a young Pam Anderson.
What are you gonna do? Yeah.
What is that? Danny told me this statistic that in Iceland they're all hot because the Vikings would.
The Vikings only stole the best-looking women from England, what was then England, and then Germany and France.
Vikings were literally that thing of like they would rape and pillage. They would come.
That was it.
Only the most fit, only the most beautiful women they stole and took them over to Iceland and Greenland.
And so the descendants are all in Iceland and they're all hot.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it was they had a preserved Viking ship actually in one of the museums over there.
And An actual ship,
a true ship, and they were so small, and they would just pack as many, as Dan said, Viking warriors in. And actually, there were some trips where if like the head Viking came back, he was like banned from the society because he was like a wussy for not getting killed in battle. Like they were like they're such a tough-nosed place.
So, of course,
Half
of my material will be about Fran Tarkenton. That's all I've been talking about. Adrian Peterson. Listen, I mean, those are experience. It's great that you're doing this. You're young and you're experiencing life. You're That's the one good thing about stand-up. No matter what, you get to travel. You get to see stuff and you get paid for it. You know.
Well, I felt like, even though like it's not at a point in my career yet where the money would be the same, but I feel like I'm as close as I can be to like the life of a pro athlete, where you're just doing what I love and what I'm so passionate about, like and traveling to all these cool cities, and people know you like in the streets or especially at the shows. People want to hang out, and
that's what I would
cool.
pretend. I would pretend the same thing, that I was on the Yankees.
Yeah. Well,
when I was at Hilarities in Cleveland, I go, I'm on the Yankees. I'm really in town to play a game. No, you're in town to tell a bunch of bad jokes to a bunch of depressed people.
And eat buffalo wings and get diarrhea for 3 days.
Let's go to the phones real quick. A World Series. Bruce in Pittsburgh, watching on the Audience Network. World Series story. Bruce?
Hey, Artie. It's good to get through finally.
Yeah, Bruce. What's up, buddy?
Well worth waiting all this time. Hey, I met you at the All-Star game in Pittsburgh last time you were there, but you were a little lit up.
This is, it's a while ago. I remember I went... Yeah, I played the funny bone and then I went to the All-Star game. Probably a bad combination, but yeah. Well, thank you for saying that.
But I was in the local grocery store the other day after the Pirates. My Pirates didn't beat those Cardinals in the World Series, but I got the second best thing. I was grocery shopping with Bill Mazeroski.
Were you really?
Yeah, he has a house right down the road from me where he stays a couple months in the fall.
Real quick, Bruce, stop right now. I'm going to ask the younger people in the room. Chris, who's Bill Mazeroski?
Pittsburgh Pirates.
You know what he's famous for?
Was that he hit a home run in...
yeah, that's good enough.
Yeah.
1960. He won the series against the Yankees.
Series, yeah.
Walk-off homer.
Walk-off homer,
against, yeah. So he still lives in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he has a house right outside of Pittsburgh in Greensburg, right near where I live.
Okay.
It's about 30 miles east, and he stays there a couple months in the fall before he goes back to Bradenton, where he has a house.
Oh, all right.
But we were bullshitting. I met him years ago,
yeah.
And I got him to autograph. They come out with a train car that matches the Lionel trains.
Yeah.
1960 World Series car, and in the car is a replica ticket from the 60 World Series.
Wow.
And the interesting part was, the best part was...
You haven't got to the interesting part yet?
Grab both of them, but the price on the ticket is $7.50.
Wow. Could you imagine? For the World Series, probably a good seat, too.
Oh, yeah. He was telling me stories about then, and he was sad that the Pirates didn't get there this year, but he's going to be working with the infield in Bradenton this year again at spring training. And he's in better shape than me and you, and even probably John almost.
I'm sure he's in better shape than me, that's for sure. Now, Bruce, do you laugh at the people in Cleveland? Do you feel that you're in Pittsburgh? Is Cleveland sort of a laughing stock to you guys?
Well, they're kind of out there on another planet. Once you cross that Ohio border, you're in another world there. It's a little bit strange out that way. I try to stay east of the Ohio border as much as I can.
Well, Bruce, I appreciate the call, and I'll be signing my book in Pittsburgh. I want you to come check it out.
Oh, yeah. I'll be listening. I watch you usually 1.5 to 2 times a night because you're on the repeat.
All right, thanks.
Good
Bruce,
deal.
It's on a little bit of a delay, but I'm going to do something for you. This is for you. Ready? You'll be seeing what I'm doing in about 40 seconds. This is for you.
All right. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Bruce. Call back. This is for Bruce. He'll be seeing this in about 40 seconds. For Bruce.
Touching. That's nice.
All right,
See,
Bruce.
even in Pittsburgh, they don't deal with Cleveland.
That guy was
I think he
extremely
was
boring,
nice.
though. That guy is the voice of Cleveland.
He's Bruce.
No, he was nice about the Cleveland thing because the Steelers are just as bad as the Browns this year. I think.
Well,
that's-
it's
I
all
think that's
about
the root of
football.
it.
Weren't the Browns pretty good this year? What is their record?
They were good until Brian Hoyer, their new starting quarterback, had his knee blown out. They
Right.
were looking great.
Yeah,
That's how you get welcome to Cleveland.
Now have they won 3 games? I think they have a better record than the Steelers.
Yeah, they do. They're 3-5, and Pittsburgh's 2-5.
Yeah.
Giants
so-
2-6, baby. They're
Yeah,
going to
we're
win
going to
the
have
NFC
10 and
East.
6.
Yeah.
10 and 6. That's what I'm predicting. Justin, watching on the Audience Network in Cali, he's got a trivia question for Boschetti.
Woo!
Justin.
Oh.
Hey, Justin, how are you, buddy?
Justin? Hey.
Hey, Artie, Johnny, what's up?
Hi.
Yeah, I got a question for Mikey.
Go ahead.
What is the plural form of the word woman?
Women. W-O-M-E-N. Ladies,
Spell that
bimbos,
again.
skanks, there's a
Wait,
bunch of them.
spell. Could you spell that again?
Skanks?
Yeah.
Mike, could you spell that again?
WOMEN.
Women.
All right.
Are you satisfied with that, Justin?
I thought I heard a Y.
Say it again, Justin. What?
What did he say? I couldn't hear him.
He said women.
He has never said that in.
Thank you, buddy. I'm on the ball. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like,
Thank you, Justin.
hey, Justin, good to hear from you, buddy.
Again, probably the most uneventful trivia question I've ever heard on radio.
Everything's about Cleveland
No,
tonight.
right. It was the most uneventful trivia I've ever heard. He said, Mike, what is the plural of women? Women. And that was it.
That was it.
Do we expect to try to get sponsors for the show with stuff like that?
No, that was. It would have been good. I mean, if Mike would have,
All right,
fouled it up.
we got to take a break. We're going to come back with Chris. What are you plugging anything, Chris? What do you got coming up?
The show Girl Code on MTV that
Right.
starts this Wednesday at 10 p.m.
And you're a part of that, too.
I'm part of that.
Okay,
Yeah. So
okay.
that's big premiere Wednesday, 10 p.m. MTV.
Okay, check that out. And Anthony in Connecticut, we're going to get to you. Don't go anywhere, Anthony. I want to get to you. So he claims he lost $100,000 on the World Series once. That's a story right up my alley. So we got to take a break. Come back after that.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.